Hi, Quilty Blockheads. It's month 6, so that means we're halfway through. Um, this month, you're going to do 2 blocks. The first one is really very simple. The second one introduces a totally different method. So let's do the first block, which is called the rail fence block, the really easy one. Okay, and here's what you have in your packet. You'll have 2 white strips, a blue strip, and a turquoise strip. The pattern states that they should be 16.5 inches. Don't worry about the length. They're plenty long. All you're going to do is sew a white strip to a blue strip and a white strip to a turquoise strip. So some of you have done this before. It's called making strip sets. So sew them together. Now, be very careful. These strips are actually cut the correct width for you. So be very careful that you use your scant 1/4 inch and then press this seam open, nice and flat. That will help you to cut this up. What you're going to do is cut the blue one into 4 pieces and the turquoise one into 5 pieces. All the pieces are going to be cut at 2.5 inches. So sew them together, and see, I've got a wonky end and I've got an end with salvages. So I want to trim one of those off nice and straight. It doesn't matter which one. So I'm going to trim off my wonky end. And I'm going to place my ruler, and I'm going to put my one of the lines of my ruler right on my seam line, nice and straight, and square this up. Okay, cut those off. And now I'm going to cut this into 2.5 inch pieces. So again, I'm going to keep a line of my ruler on my seam and my 2.5 inch line on the edge that I just cut. So it's nice and straight. And I'm going to cut 4 of these 2.5 inch pieces. From the turquoise, you're going to cut 5 2.5 inch pieces. That's 2. Good thing I can count to 4. And talk at the same time. 3 and 4, almost. Okay, now I have these nice little bar-like pieces, and I would have the same ones over there. At this point, you're going to refer to your directions that shows you how to lay these out. I have to admit, this picture, the colors don't show up very well. So here's a tip. Notice that all of the turquoise pieces go, in this case, vertically, and all of the blue pieces go horizontally. So that's the biggest tip. All the same colors have to go the same way. And notice you have 5 turquoise pieces. So there's 1 in the middle and 1 on each corner. So start in the middle with your turquoise piece and surround it on all sides with a blue piece. And notice that the blue pieces will all go horizontally. Okay, and then add your 4 corners of turquoise. This picture's a little easier to see. So turn it around and make it match this, and you'll see how to lay it out. So in case you can't tell there. Okay, now about sewing it together. We're going to sew it together just like we've been sewing things together. It's a 9 patch. Okay, so we're going to sew this row together, and then this row together, and then this row together. And then we're going to press these seams in and both of these seams out. Okay, see, these are pressed in, these are pressed out. Notice these seams, they stayed pressed open. Sew it together, nesting these seams, and then press those seams open. And you should have a really, really pretty rail fence block that measures 6.5 inches.